Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am going to show you guys how I winterize my house, specifically the inside of my house. As you guys know, I live in Michigan and it gets very cold, and we end up getting stuck and staying inside for a majority of the day, whereas opposed to summertime, we are outside basically like 6 hours a day. In the wintertime, it's more like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And so I try to prepare our house and declutter it and clean it in a way that prepares us for this time, because I have 3 kids, I have 2 dogs and a cat. And so being inside with all these little kids and animals in an unclean home just doesn't sound as pleasant. I want to preface by saying that I've been attempting to winterize our home for about a month. It is a very slow process. I get this question all the time, but people ask me, how do I clean with little kids? And the answer is simple. I do it in chunks. I think realistically, if I didn't have kids, I could easily winterize my home over a long weekend. Like it could take really 2 days. But because I do have kids and I take frequent breaks and I take my time, it takes me about a month to do. And so if you follow me on Instagram, you've slowly been seeing me do this. I do it in different phases, and I'll kind of walk you guys through that. Before I start any type of project, I feel like I mentally need to prepare myself and my heart. And so this clip here, my husband and I had gone to church. So this video that you're going to be seeing today, these clips I shot on a Sunday. Some of them were shot other days, but I had forgotten my coffee on our way to church. So when I got back home, I was able to warm it up. I made a nice little spice seasoning and had that going. So the house smelled really good. And then I was just sitting and reading books with my kids and just enjoying my time with them. I feel like it's a good opportunity for me to share why I'm doing what I'm doing and let them know that I'm going to be cleaning for a little bit of time. And this really helps my heart posture stay onto the Lord, and also it gives me like an ability to explain to my kids what I'm doing. So, and I found that doing this, they are less likely to interrupt me, and they actually really enjoy it and want to help me. So you'll see me do this a little bit later in the video, but I have been cleaning our walls, and my daughter helped me clean all of the walls. My son did all of our trim downstairs. So like, they really enjoy that, but I let them know that I like to take care of the things that the Lord has blessed us with. And so one of the ways that I show gratitude and thanksgiving is by keeping up and maintaining the things that the Lord has blessed us with, but also reminding them that our treasures are not stored here. And so although I don't put all my time and value in these things, I do want to care for them. So it's more so just having this open conversation with my kids. But anyway, let's walk through. The first step into winterizing my home is decluttering. This is something I do very frequently. The last time I actually did a full house declutter was in April, and I could definitely tell that the house was due for another one. I think the thing about decluttering is that as long as you are living, you are going to constantly be decluttering. It's not something that you do once and then you never ever have to do again, especially if you have multiple people living in your home and multiple things coming in and out. And so as a mother, I take that job and responsibility to make sure that what's coming in is something that is going to serve and help us. And so I've slowly been decluttering space by space over the last month. So I did our kitchen, I did cabinets, I did kids' clothes, I did dressers. I've done basically everything. This is like one of the last places that I had. And my like secret to decluttering is putting on some good music, drinking a nice coffee before, and then fully removing everything. And so I enjoy this process because I get to see what I'm actually using, and I feel so good afterwards. So as you can tell, we have quite a lot of books. My husband and I both really enjoy reading, and so we have accumulated quite a few. And then this is where we store. So we store our books here, some of like our journals, games, and then electric stuff. And then we also on the other side have some of our like serving plates and platters, bowls and things. And so basically what I was doing today was going through, because I've already gone through this cabinet in April. And one of the things that I wanted to see is we had that whole box that was filled with like electric things, and I wanted to see what I would actually use. And I'll tell you now, nothing got used. And so I donated pretty much all of those cords. We just don't use them, didn't need to be using them. And so the only thing that I kept were like my headphones, my big ones, my Raycons. I put a couple of like chargers that were there and just kind of emptied it all out. I also have like an abundance of pens and highlighters and stuff. I love Mr. Pen, and they sent me like a huge thing of pens, and I love them, use them, but I don't feel like I need this many. So sometimes my kids will get into this as well. And so I had several that were like dried up. So I was just testing them, just seeing what's actually usable. I make 2 piles when doing this decluttering process. One pile is trash, one pile is donations. And so like any pens that were old, used, broken, whatever, got tossed. I also have like a bunch of Bible studies that I had completed this year. I kept them, but again, I'm like mentally making a note that if I don't reach for this within the next couple of months, next time I go to declutter, I will throw these away because I don't need them. I'm not using them. I didn't know if I would reference them or not, so just leaving them. And then I'm kind of going through and categorizing our books. So I feel like there's a couple of different topics. So like I feel like currently I'm reading 7 different books. And so I put this all into 7 different piles. And then I also put some of my husband's stuff, and then we had some books that we just weren't reading, were gifted to us. Like I had been gifted so many books on grief after a miscarriage, and honestly I didn't read a single one of them. I just really didn't. Maybe that sounds really rude or mean, but I just didn't really care to read those, so I'm just donating them. And then Jordan has like some weight loss books. I don't know, it's kind of just like a mosh posh of things. So I tried to like kind of organize some of them by like fatherhood, motherhood, studies, Bibles, and things. Our church is also part of this organization where they take used Bibles overseas. And so I did separate some of the Bibles that Jordan and I had that we haven't been using to donate to that. And then I also went through our puzzles and games. We don't have that many, but just went through them. So now I'm going to show you guys what I've basically been doing through my entire home in one room. So when I say that I'm going to winterize a space, that is a very thorough and deep clean with decluttering, and then also a heavier load of a deep clean, including walls and such. So I had not done a declutter of my daughter's room. She still had quite a few like baby items like bibs and smaller sacks, swaddles from last winter that I kind of had just like hung onto. So I save everything. So I just have a separate bin that I'm placing everything in. So for example, she just outgrew her like weighted sleep sack from Dreamland Baby. Again, going through and keeping things either trash, like random stuff that needs to be thrown away in the trash, and then donated. I mentioned several times this has taken me about a month to do. And the reason for that is because I tend to take frequent little breaks to either tend to my kids or redirect them or help guide them in something or grab them a snack. And the best thing that my kids just ask for time and time again is our Bible Stories for Kids app stories. So this has been one of my favorite ways to keep them entertained or busy, as this last month I've been trying to declutter and get the house all winterized. And I'm very excited because a lot of you have been asking for a free trial. And so we've updated it. So you can get a free trial, do a 3-day free trial or 7-day. And they have it for the iOS, and Android should be set and ready by the time this video goes live. So I will have our app linked down below for you guys. Every single one of you who has downloaded it and has been using it has said the absolute sweetest things about it. And it has been so fun to see how you guys integrate it into your life. So One of my favorite features is the fact that every story comes with a word search and color along, and how quick and easy it is to be able to print them off. So you literally, when you go onto the app and you go to play the stories, you have the option to play the story. You have the option to do key takeaways, which are questions for you to basically ask your kids. And then you also have the option to do a fun color along or word search. So my kids know where the printer is, so I will normally just do it upstairs from my phone, print it off, and then they go downstairs and grab the papers and color, and then I just start playing the story for them and just connect it to the Bluetooth or wherever they're at, and they can just play and listen to that. So that has definitely saved my butt this last month, because they are not tired of the stories, and we have new stories that get added every single week. We just added the story of Jesus to help you guys prepare and share your children, and just share with your children the story of Jesus, as it's the month of December.
Around them, they were terrified, but the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid."
So yeah, frequent breaks is how I'm able to do this in a way that keeps me sane. It's kind of just like this fluid, being okay with my rhythm getting broken up, which I've really come to enjoy, because it gives me an opportunity to take a break, get a snack, or just, I don't know, this has just been my life for so long that I don't really remember life without doing this. And so I just use it to my advantage. So I'll have our link down below for our app if you guys are interested. And if you guys didn't know, I'll link my video down below. We launched a kids app and it's been amazing and we're so excited. So anyway, back to finishing decluttering my daughter's room. So she has this huge section that I used to use for her dresses and such. The kids broke a vase and I've been saying I'm going to fix it. I will fix it because it was so beautiful, and I got it at Target and they don't have it anymore. And I've tried finding a dupe or like one that's similar, and those are like $300, and this one was like $50. So I am going to be fixing it. But just going through her stuff, and now that the space is empty, I'm repurposing it. So my kids in their closet had a bunch of extra blankets and pillows, and this armoire is perfect for so I'm keeping all of that. Found this really nasty, disgusting bottle. Don't ask me why I smelled it, because I know it's going to smell bad. I don't know why I would smell it, but anyway, moving on to the deep cleaning part. So I'm basically tackling this up, down, wall by wall. So basically starting at the top, working my way down, and then doing wall by wall. So I am cleaning off each of the walls. This, I think, is one of the most important pieces of winterizing, because I don't think we realize how much gunk can get stuck on our walls. Now, my daughter's room in particular was the cleanest wall that I had had so far, because I painted her room not even a year ago, and I remember before I painted it, I cleaned it, and so it was the best. This was like the best looking walls, but like if you would have gone downstairs, if you would have seen my kitchen, like those walls were dusty and crusty. So I'm literally going with this mop and cleaning my walls. This mop that I use is specifically just for my walls. I do not use it on my floors. I don't use it in other areas. And I'll link it down below because it makes it really easy to use, and it just like gets everything rather quickly. And then once I'm done with that, I'm letting this dry, and then I'm doing like the trim or like the baseboards underneath, because those get really crusty. And so I have carpet up here, and carpet, again, I have 2 dogs and a cat. There is a lot of fur, a lot of hair, and things in areas that we don't think to clean. So it is just so satisfying going in with a vacuum in a space that like hasn't been vacuumed in a hot minute. And this is really what I feel like winterizes, or is my like definition of winterizing. Because day to day, I wouldn't normally pull that 100-pound armoire out of its place to vacuum behind it. That's more of like a special occasion thing. If you do frequently do that, good for you. But for me, I can't. And then the other thing that I've done in each single room is winterize the windows. So like I said, and as you can see outside, it is snowing. So these windows are not going to be open anytime soon. And I really like to get all this gunk out that gets stuck when we do open the windows in the summertime. I had again done this in April, but because we had been opening up our windows and using them and the whole summer went by, the gunk just filled back up again. So giving it a good clean, I would use my steamer, but my steamer just broke, which is really sad because a steamer makes it a lot easier. But I'm using I did warm water, and then I have this like paste that I just use for basically everything. It's baking soda, castor oil, and then lemon essential oil, I think, or lavender. But that, with that electric toothbrush thing, it's not an actual toothbrush, it's made for cleaning, but that combo together works fabulously and got everything out. And then I just go over with water, and the water kind of spills off the house, but you know, it's just like going outside, so it doesn't really matter. But doing this makes such a big difference. Also, I do remove some of our screens. I just saw my friend Delilah do this, and I thought it was genius because you don't really need to be having screens in the wintertime, and screens make the house look really dark. But these screens, I don't know how to remove, so I just left them on. But other more common areas downstairs, I did remove them, give them a good wash, and then we're storing them. Now is also a great time to clean out trees. Like, I don't think people understand how much dust gets collected in those artificial trees that we have in our homes. So give that a good shake. And then again, wall by wall, starting from the top, working my way down, getting everything all cleaned and moved over. And the smell of the room after you clean it like this is just so pleasant and will last us until the springtime. And then I'll do a spring clean, and then we get back into the summer, and then this process just continues. It just feels so great to have a nice clean home like this, and then it's really easy to maintain. So I will link a blog post that I have down below where I share my like week schedule for our house and what I do week by week to maintain it, because it's very attainable, very easy. I have like specific things that I do on specific days that really help me still feel like a mom and be able to do life outside of cleaning the home while still managing and having a clean home without spending a lot of time doing it. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense, because it's really just changed our life having like a really tight schedule that we follow as far as cleaning goes. So doing something like this is obviously a little bit extra, but again, how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so if you want to start decluttering, do 15 minutes today, 15 minutes tomorrow. Don't declutter your entire home in one sitting, because it's going to be very overwhelming. You're going to get really tired. Do a little bit every single day. It's taken me about a month. This was one of my last rooms that I did. And I've slowly just been doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do want to do more home style videos as things come up. I love you guys. I hope this video blesses you, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.